Hi, friends. It's Susan Smith with Stamp Creatively. I got together with friends yesterday and we created with templates. I love the templates in the catalog. The first ones we used are on page 22 of the annual catalog, and then we used some on page 16 of the holiday catalog. These are the two we used. The multiple layers with the circle and then the squares. And then this, we did a tag. So we did 3 projects and there were 4 of us. So we came away with a lot of great things. Here's the things that we did. I'm going to show you what we did together. And then I'm going to show you what I did separate. We're going to do my projects. This one is done with the Iconic Scenery paper. And I love the mauve. That's one of my favorite wood papers. Then that's beautiful. And then this is mine. Everybody did squares but me. I used the hexagon punch. That's template number 1. I'm going to go ahead and I'll show you these, but then again, I'm going to go back and create mine. Those are both the same, but just a little bit different. They use the same DSP, but they just orientated dinner. I use Sophisticated Sled and the beautiful Designer Series paper that is in the catalog with that pretty gold in it. Then here's the tags. We each did a tag. Look how sparkly that is. It's beautiful. That's the airplanes. And then that is one of the Memories and More kits, the new ones. All right, let's get this stuff off my desk. Oh, and I used the frozen edges and the Snowflake Sky 3D folder. All right. There's my tag. Is that not cute? I did a little bit different take. I kind of made mine like a bookmark because it says, wishing you cozy day. And that's when you kind of sit down and read. So it's supposed to be a tag or it can be a bookmark. All right, let's get this out of the way so I can get this. So I used the beautiful glimmer paper. It is in the September to December catalog. It's so pretty. It's kind of hidden in a weird spot, so you kind of have to find it. I had it marked and then I showed you those stencils. So let me go back and find it. Again, it's hidden. Okay, here it is, page 53. It's Granny Apple, Cherry Cobbler, and Garden Green. So I punched it out in advance for them. And I used the Iconic Scenery for the words or Iconic Imagery. That's the name of it. It's called Iconic Imagery. I used the dies and the stamp set. Again, I like this enough. I want to do it at my Stamp-A-Stack. I do a Stamp-A-Stack every October. If you're in my area, I would love for you to join me. I'm going to do a card similar to this. Again, it's on a Saturday. You make 40 cards. It's a great deal. We have lunch. We have a great time. Bring a friend. It's well worth it. Oh, there's the hexagon. Heartfelt hexagon. That's the punch I used. Okay. So I cut those. They kind of had some scrap. There's my Iconic Imagery. I ran it. I didn't use the embossing folder for that. That's for a different project. It just happened to be stacked in the wrong place. So here is, I mounted it on black. I wanted to do, so that's 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to put the black down. That's my white that I'm going to put on the inside. Because I put a white on the inside. You can't really write on black. But then the card base is also the basic black. That way if I go over the edges and it's not perfect, it's okay. So I'm going to start with the garden green. I'm going to put it kind of sort of in the middle. I'm going to, I'll use my seal to put it down. And then after I get it down, I'm going to put seal all over the front of the basic black. And then I'll just kind of lay my pieces out. I'm just going to lay them out in the pattern so that they touch. And I know I'm going to snip some off. That just worked better for me than trying to cut them and make them match perfectly. And I'm going to put the granny apple. I have that little piece at the bottom, but that's going to work out okay because I'll show you how I'm going to. I'll use one piece and put a little bit at the top and then a little bit at the bottom. And I'll just cut those off and add them. And then I put my leftovers, I just put them back in my little tray in case somebody needed a certain size. I couldn't decide when I started this whether I was going to put the red down the middle and put one green on each side. I couldn't quite decide how I was going to do it. I just ended up with green, green, and red on the other side. So then that piece fits right up there. And again, I know I'm wasting a little bit and all that, but I liked the way it looked too much to change it. For my stamp all day, I think I'm going to use one of each color going through the middle. And the reason I do that is not that this isn't beautiful, but when they're all together and we're trying to get 40 cards done, I just need to shorten it a little bit. But then you always have an option of getting the things and doing more at home. That's always an option. Okay, I just need one more of the cherry cobbler. Let me put it up here, and then I'm going to trim the whole thing off. And I'm going to just do it with my snips. I could get my paper cutter out, but again, it doesn't have to be perfect because it's going on the black. So no one will notice if it's a little bit over. So I'm just going to snip this off. If you ever want more information about what I do, I am at stampcreatively.com. I've got a blog. You can see what we do, what I do. Okay, I'm going to seal this down on the black. And we have Stampin' Up! Shannon West is going to come into town in October and hang out with us and do kind of what we did yesterday. Get together with demonstrators and create some beautiful things. We're excited to have her come join us. She always does such a great job. The seal's going to go right on the back of that card front. Look how pretty that is. I love the shimmer. I mean, who wouldn't love getting that in the mail? So now I need to put my little things on the front. I'm just going to put it on some basic white. I'm going to use Granny Apple. And I used Real Red because I just wanted it to be a little brighter. So I'm going to stamp that on the white. I'm going to add my little holly berries and my words. Oops, wrong color. And then the iconic imagery dies are going to cut these out perfectly. I got to close those up because I always make a mess. And I'm going to get these dies. And you don't need to watch me bring the die cut machine in here, so I'll just cut them out. Like magic. So I'm going to add these to the front of my card, but before I do, oh yeah, that's got that great big die. I love that big one. That's the one someone else used on her card. Just so you can see the bigger size of the die. There it is. That's the iconic imagery designer series paper. There is glimmer paper with trees cut out with the dies. And then she even used the big Celebrate on the inside. So cute. Okay, to finish these off, before I put them on, I'm going to put that on with dimensionals. And after I get this on, I want to make sure I take my Wink of Stella. Look at this. A little Granny Apple dots. I mean, Why not? I'm going to take my Wink of Stella and kind of blend these colors just a little bit and make them sparkle because, you know, I've got so much sparkle on there. I hate to have flat images. And we just love a Wink of Stella. When you have, it'll just blend the color and kind of shade that in so it's not so stark white. Now I like putting these on with glue dots. So I am going to put those on with some glue dots. And I'm going to tuck it right under this tag. Just tuck it under there just a little bit. Then I'm going to add my holly berries. I mean, how cute is that? And it's just so sparkly. I love a good sparkle. Okay, so now the second template we used, that's this template. The second one we used, oh, let's look at all these again. Before I move on to the next one, let's look at all these again. Again, same template, different ideas. I love using the templates. I think this is a brand new thing Stampin' Up's just started doing, is putting the templates in the catalogs, and I like them. All right, the next one is just layers of DSP. I guess you could use regular cardstock. We all use DSP. It's that one with some kind of an image on it. Again, I interpreted it, they all went one direction. I just happened to turn my project. The DSP is so pretty. It's in the mini. It's called Seasons of Elegance. And it's the designer series paper with gold foil. So it's got an old olive, a basic beige, cherry cobbler, and a pretty peacock. So I'm going to use pretty peacock as my card base. And it's just cut, it's a half sheet of 8.5 by 11. And then I'm going to use basic beige for my image. I'm going to stamp it in Versamark and then emboss it in gold. And my cherry cobbler is cut 5 1/4 by 3.5. Okay, there it is embossed in gold. This template lines up, or the die lines up really well when you line it up with the center. Lining up all those little outside images was about the death of me. I had to do the line it up with the center. It's the Sophisticated Sled and the Sophisticated Sled dies. I love that wreath. I've used it on a couple projects already. So I'm going to fold my pretty peacock, use my amazing bone folder with my At the Wonder Basement charm. Then I've got my cherry cobbler. I'm going to adhesive to the front. And I'm going to put adhesive down both sides and all over the front, because I'm just going to layer these and just put them right on top of the adhesive. One of the girls yesterday had them all counted for us in little order. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to kind of randomly put them on there because I just want it to be the gold side up. That's all that really mattered to me. Come on, friend. Okay. So we're just going to lay these across the front and just make sure the gold's on top. I'm not trying to line them up. I want them to look mismatched. I just think that's easier. Sometimes we work too hard to try to make things look perfect, but I like the mismatched look. Stampin' Up! Does such a good job of putting everything in these beautiful groups. With this, the bundle or the suite that this is all in is called the Season of Elegance, and it has the designer series paper. It has that beautiful embossing folder that's called Painted Trees. And it's got this really pretty, that cherry cobbler gold ribbon that I'm going to use for the bow. I love that ribbon. It's not a very wide ribbon. It's only 1/4 of an inch wide, but it makes such a pretty bow. See? I didn't even have to have a pattern. Isn't that fun? I like it. I'm going to stick these back in here so that I don't get little strips running everywhere. So to color my wreath, I didn't, oh yeah, here's this ribbon. Let me show you how well this works before we color. It just makes such a pretty bow. And I always tie on the bolt. That way I'm not wasting any ribbon. It just works better for me. Snip it off. At one of our Stampin' Up! Events, they gave us the charm on my scissors, and that big green ball on the end goes right over the tip to keep me from stabbing myself. So I'm going to take a block and I'm going to color on my Pretty Peacock, my Cherry Cobbler, and my Old Olive, because I want to put those on my wreath with a blender pen so the colors aren't so bold. My Seafoam, I'm just going to go ahead and color directly on there. Again, I'm coloring on the basic beige. It's kind of hard with the lights for me to see the gold. It's kind of reflecting, so I'm going to have to pick this up and hold it because I can't quite see it. There's just too much reflection. But then the blender pen is going to it's going to take those colors that I want and just lighten them a little bit, which is going to look, to me, it just looks a little bit nicer on my wreath. I love the basic beige. I've used it way more than I thought I would. Okay, I've about got all these little dudes colored. And we're just gonna stick this wreath on with some glue dots, or dimensionals, sorry. I'm going to stick it on with some dimensionals, and then I will stick that bow on with a glue dot. Where are my glue dots? I just had them, oh, here. I don't know if you're like me, but it's always right in front of me. I want to embellish, I'm going to embellish this with those druzy dots. Let's dimensional this on. And then those druzy, I know, it's such a weird word. I don't know who came up with that one. But it's like these textured gold and silver embellishments. And I'm using gold on this one, and then I'm using silver on the next one. So I cut the sheet of adhesives in half. But I love them. They just add so much sparkle. And they match the gold theme I got going on here. Okay. Now let's look at what the others did. Again, same idea, same DSP, and then that pretty, those are those pretty new ink colors with one of the ephemera packs. All right, next project. Got to clean up the mess. This next project, they all did tags, and mine can be a tag or a bookmark because I love the cozy days. So the template we used is in the front of the mini. We like the template so much that the mini catalog included some too. They're on page 16. Come on. I had the page and then closed there it is. So we decided to do that one. Some of those are card templates, so we were trying to stick with the tags. So this is one of the tag templates we decided to use. Again, airplane, beautiful glimmer paper, and then the bunny is the new scrubbing kit. I used 3 different punches for my tag. It ended up, I had more stuff for my little tag than anything else. So the stamp set that I used is the Frozen Edges. It has beautiful snowflakes. There are 2 snowflake bundles in the catalog. I used the Frozen Edges, and then I used the Snowflake Sky 3D embossing folder. And Azure Afternoon. I'm just going to use a piece of basic white to start off with. Oh, and I have to put that down. I get messy. So that's what I do with my cardboard backs that come in my kits. This is a snowflake tag topper, and that's just a 2-inch piece. So I'm going to slide my 2-inch piece in there and make my tag topper. Now this piece of cardstock's too long. I think that was the one I was supposed to use for the scraps. So I'll just cut it off once I get my Azure Afternoon cut. So I'm going to pull this through the middle, and this is what we do. This is just a smidge wider than the 2 inches, but I want that modern oval to make me a rounded top. So there you go. Now when I put my basic white on there, my snowflake's going to show up. See? How cute is that? But it's too long, so I'm going to need to cut it off. That was the scrap piece. Oh well. I always take a little bit of extra scrap when I travel to stamp with my friends because like when we did workshops years ago, I always forget one thing. I don't know that I forgot one thing yesterday. That'd be impressive. These snowflakes stamp so pretty and they go right across the front of my card. I can get such a pretty pattern with them. Look how pretty they are. Just so pretty. I definitely, on my stamp all day, am going to use the snowflakes. I'm just not sure how yet. I like mixing different colors where everything's not so just red and green. Okay, we're just going to seal this on the front. Come on, friend. Okay. That gets sealed on the front. And then I took a piece of the pretty silver, and that's where I used the embossing folder. So it's got snowflakes on it. Look how pretty those are. They're beautiful little snowflakes. So I'm going to put a piece of silver right there. Then I'm going to put some seal across the front because I wanted to use this beautiful iridescent striped ribbon. It's so pretty. This will also be used at my Christmas card event. Gosh, I hope you live close to me and you can join me. If not, well, I'm sorry. I'm going to be having a class, so make sure you check stampcreatively.com where you can see information about a class. So now I'm going to use my third punch. And I'm going to punch out, oh, that scrap doesn't work. I'm going to punch out one more piece. And I'm going to stamp my cozy little words. I love these words. And it's upside down, but you can stamp upside down. We'll just mount it right side up. I'm going to put it on with some dimensionals. And I'm going to position the dimensionals so that they're not right on top of the ribbon. That just seems to work better for me. Put that right on there. And I'm going to use those, see how pretty is that? The difference is the one I just did doesn't have the pretty dots. Like I love whacking my blend so that it splatters, and I want to put a little pink on this, so let's put a little melon mambo on there. I mean, it doesn't have to be red and green. I love using different colors. And then I'm going to finish it off with those pretty druzy, let's use those silver ones. They're so pretty. And they're perfect with that iridescent ribbon. And can you put too many on a pretty tag and bookmark? Probably not. So again, if you want to watch me some more, I'm at stampcreatively.com. I love creating these projects. I love getting together with other people. Again, Shannon's going to be in town. We'd love for you to join us. We share life and talk about everything going on. We enjoy being together. We eat well every time. But it's just so much fun. And again, we stamp so differently. Let me show you again what we did. Because again, they're so different. Oh, same pattern, 4 different ideas. You don't need two of the same thing. Let's get that out of there. And here we go again. Same template, just interpreted a little bit differently. I love those ephemera packs. They're so cute. And that DSP and all that stuff is just happiness. I need more space. All right, and here's our squares. I just love them all. I mean, thank you, friends, for joining me, for watching what we do. Please, you know, go look and see what else is on my Stamp Creatively. And I will be back again soon to stamp with you. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day. Bye.